Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, YouTubers. It's Anonymous T. Hope you're having an amazing day today. So, we are talking Ready to Love Potomac. We are going to be talking Ready to Love Potomac. Even though the season is over, we still have a lot of postseason interviews that are going to be taking place over the next couple of weeks. And there's, again, more puzzle pieces that are being revealed that you're trying to piece together, what really happened. And of course, at the top is, the storyline with Sabrina and, all of her suitors. And this love triangle storyline with Dakiya, Clifton, and Joy. So Dakiya, she did an interview yesterday with Crystal XO. And shout out to her. It was a fantastic interview. And she was providing more insight into what took place about she was confused in terms of some of the things that took place at the reunion, because prior to the reunion, she thought that she was in a good place with Joy. And basically, she was saying that they had went out to eat after, the retreat, after when Dakiya saw for herself that basically Clifton and Joy were progressing a lot further in things and what have you. But what stuck out to me in this interview were a couple of things. And that was basically Dakiya said, she pretty much, even when Eric came into the picture, she still was all about Clifton. And, some of the comments that she made, she was saying it in jest. She wasn't, she was joking with the producers, and people are taking it and running with it. And then she also said that it got to the point where, her and Clifton were getting along so well in terms of, going on these additional dates, having all these additional conversations, that they started FaceTiming you guys with Clifton's sons in the background. What? Yes, FaceTiming with Clifton's sons in the background. So let me ask you this. To the ladies, if you are dating a man and he is FaceTiming you with his kids in the background, what is your interpretation of that? Because for me, it's like, if you're that comfortable before we've even established that we're an exclusive relationship or anything, and you're already introducing me to your kids and having your kids in the background of our FaceTime calls, that is telling me that you are looking at things a little bit more serious than, what you're telling other people. And I'm just keeping it a buck. Because normally you would wait until things got serious, so that way your kids are not getting attached to multiple different women in a short period of time. At least that's what I thought, that was the case. But ultimately, it just confirms that once again, everything is not what it seems. Dakiya also confirmed that her segment with Eric, right after that, they taped the segment with Joy and Clifton. And even still, with all of Joy's explanations, and I'm hoping she can just lay everything out in an interview so we can totally understand, it still doesn't warrant her reaction that she had to Dakiya, right? Her reaction told me that she was unaware of how much of a connection Dakiya and Clifton had, but instead of her taking out on Clifton, she decides to take it out on Dakiya. And instead of having a conversation with Dakiya in terms of what took place between her and Clifton during this process, she took whatever Clifton told her, and he didn't take any accountability or responsibility on his part if he did any leading on, if he encouraged anything with Dakiya that gave her some sort of hope or some indication that they could be, at the end together. He never shut anything down, never told her, hey, this isn't appropriate, hey, we shouldn't be doing this and that. He always left it as though there was still a possibility between the two of them. However, I am sure he painted a different picture to Joy to make it appear as though that Dakiya was the issue. And nobody is denying the connection that Joy and Clifton had. However, Clifton, even if he was all in on Joy, he still entertained other women. So you could either say that made him a game player on the show, or he genuinely did feel something for Dakiya enough to FaceTime with her with his sons on on the call as well. So I totally understand where Dakiya is coming from in terms of, you know, her feeling a certain type of way with how things unfolded, because basically some of the things that Clifton was saying to her and some of his actions were indicating that something could, you know, progress with the two of them. But it seems as though Joy either didn't know the extent of their connection or didn't know the extent of what took place during the filming of the show, but her energy and her anger is misplaced, right? Her energy and anger for some reason is all directed at Dakiya for some reason and not directed at Clifton at all, which I do not understand. Because that is a classic move when you are a player, when you are trying to entertain multiple people, is once you become exclusive with somebody after the fact, you then want to try to throw out there, oh, so-and-so is coming on to me. Oh, so-and-so is doing all of this and this and that. And you try to paint this picture that, like, you're this good person and you did nothing wrong and you weren't inappropriate as well. And as things start to unfold, as things start to come out, we are finding out, at least from Dakiya's side, that things were with Clifton were a lot more serious than what we were led on to believe, because we only saw, I think, just a couple of dates with her and Clifton, as well as Dakiya meeting one of Clifton's friends. But we saw again at the reunion the additional date, and we're finding out on these interviews how much the depth of the connection was with Clifton. So I understand from Dakiya's perspective, even though probably she should have pulled a Sabrina and kind of had, you know, a lot more, hey, I'm going to continue to date until, you know, the absolute end. And when it's time to make a final decision to see who it's going to be, or I might just choose myself at the end of the day. However, ultimately this worked out for both people, right? Joy and Clifton are together and Dakiya is with her new man. One other thing that I wanted to make note of is Dakiya mentioned in her interview that she is now BFFs with Tori, you guys. Is Tori BFFs with all the women in the cast? What is going on? What is going on? So it is so funny because people were, you know, talking so much about, oh, Tori should have did this, Tori should have did that during the process, but it sounds like a lot of the women view him as like their best buddy. So maybe he was giving off that energy because he was only into Sabrina is a possibility. I don't know. Or maybe he was giving the same energy to Sabrina and didn't realize it. I don't know. So we'll have to just kind of monitor that. But I do find it interesting that all these people, they're BFFs with Tori, you guys. But he seems like he's a nice guy, right? He seemed like he was just a nice guy. I just think people were kind of you know, feeling a certain type of way about the rearranging kidneys comments that kept popping up on the show. But basically Dakiya said that they just went out for Cinco de Mayo and stuff, so that they talk all the time and that they're really cool. And essentially that if things were to ever progress with them, like, it was too late in the process at that point. She was pretty much, you know, locked in with Clifton and her other connections, so it wasn't going to be anything more than friendship. But I just found that tidbit interesting, that so many people are BFFs with Tori, but none of these are progressing to anything leading to romance or romantic feelings. So I don't know if he's just giving off the best guy friend energy, or if it was because he was only really interested in Sabrina, that was just kind of how he was with everyone else. So I guess that remains to be seen. But let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. What do you guys think of Dakiya's latest comments in her interview that she just did yesterday about the Clifton and Joy situation? Please let me know what you guys think. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.